Hi Virgo, how are you? This is Raina. This is a tarot reading for the month of July 2018. If you're looking for a pure love reading, I already have made one of those. And I've also made a pure astrology reading. So check out my channel and you can see that for yourself. And here I go. Okay, collecting the rest of these cards. This is a Morgan Greer deck because sometimes people say, what kind of deck are you using? The heart of the matter is the King of Cups. This can be an older water sign male. So Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or they could be like a Leo with Pisces rising or something, or Pisces moon. But the point is that they have kind of an emotional nature, a caring nature. And because it's king, it's a mature kind of a person. They're not immature emotionally. They can be physically or chronologically older in age, in a position of authority, like well, it could even be your father, but it could be a boss who's a very compassionate boss, or a clergyman or a counselor. All of those things could be. You may be going into therapy, who knows? Or there's somebody in your life who is like this father figure to you, or shoulder to cry on, that features in July. But let's look at the other two cards here. So we have that, and then we have the moon as the challenge position. So, you know, in the positive manifestation of the moon card, we're talking about creativity, intuition, but in the challenging position, we have the idea of deception, of confusion, mental illness, addiction, and things like that. So even like below, we look at the foundation card, we have another major arcana card, the Justice card, and we could be talking about some Virgo people who are, you know, seeking legal counsel, or even already in the process of dissolving a marriage because their partner has an addiction and they're seeing a counselor. Or the King of Cups could even be like a mentor or a life coach, or somebody in a spiritual center who you go for guidance. It could be any of those things, or just even somebody that you know who kind of like you're leaning on because they really have a lot of wisdom and you feel like you need it right now. This can be a situation too where something is not being revealed to you, and that is creating problems because there's an issue of fairness. So I think of the workplace, where the boss may be very sympathetic to you, but you still sense that something is going on behind the scenes. I don't know in what capacity, maybe with co-workers, or just something is not being revealed to you. It could even be about pay, because with the Justice card, we're talking about fairness. And like, let's say you have just, you know, started a new job and you want to know, like, or maybe you have this suspicion that you're not getting paid what other people are getting paid. You know, it's funny. It reminds me of when I was working in this one place. I was working at a health food store, and I was talking to the assistant manager about, you know, the pay and all this stuff. And it's like they always tell you, never talk about your pay. And it's like, of course, because who does it benefit if you don't talk about your pay? If you talked about your pay with your coworkers, then you'd find out who was getting what. But there's always like this etiquette that really benefits the people that are trying to exploit people, or it comes across as that, because there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to tell how much you make. If you make more than another person, you may not want to tell them because you don't want them to get mad. But I'm saying that it's funny how they create these, you know, do's and don'ts that really keep people in the dark. Because I think we should know what other people are making. I don't think this has anything to do with gender. I think this has to do with just in terms of, you know, maybe at one time they were paying more money and then they kind of lowered their pay because they felt like they could, you know, the way the economy was. And then they had like 2 different tiers. That's my theory. Oh gosh, I hope this is a quick train because it's very distracting. Okay, so this could also be that you're involved with somebody who is a real compassionate person, and maybe you've been through hell, Virgo, in a past relationship. It could be with a Pisces. The moon card connects with Pisces. And this person, this King of Cups, not sure if this is a romantic interest, but it certainly could be. But it seems like this person is helping you through whatever you're going through. The spiritual message is represented by the Hangman. I just got this card in the exact same position for Leo, which is interesting. And the Hangman card is really talking about when you've done all that you can do, that you leave it up to God. Let go and let God, because you're not going to get anywhere by continuing to try to make things happen. Yes, of course, when you're trying to solve a problem, you take appropriate action. But after you've taken the action and after maybe some results have come about and there is still some loose ends to tie up, but there's nothing you can personally do, then it's great if you can just like disengage. Easier said than done, for sure. But what happens is you get out of the way of the universe to do its magic. And the way that that happens is that it lets go of resistance, because a lot of times the reason people keep pushing things is because they're afraid of not getting what they want. And they're afraid if they don't get exactly what they want, then somehow they won't be able to have a happy life. The Hangman in the upright position is really about surrendering. And surrender is easier said than done, especially when your emotions are engaged, but sometimes it's your only recourse. And like, for instance, if you do, let's say this is a workplace situation, and you file a grievance, it may take a while for it to be heard and for it to come about. And micromanaging it just saps your own energy. It doesn't help you. The practical advice is represented by the Queen of Wands. So this is a card like, for instance, in the workplace, and if you're a woman, this is about being confident, being of good cheer, you know, not allowing any, you know, having pride. If you feel like something happened and somebody, you've been lied to and you feel like you've been made a fool of, or something along those lines, it can be easy to lapse into this feeling of victimization and even embarrassment, feeling that you've been taken for a ride. And really, the Queen of Wands holds her head up high. She has a sense of positivity about her, and she also has a sense of leadership. So she is not becoming disempowered because she has found out something that makes her feel very uncomfortable about the situation at work. She's not like that. It's kind of like powering through something. And it's interesting because I think of, look at her. Now, wands are fire signs, and they say this is Sagittarius. But look, she's holding a sunflower, so shouldn't that be Leo? You may have, if you're a Virgo, you may have Mars in Leo, for instance. Now, the point that I'm trying to make is that a Leo person, one of the reasons that Leo people tend to be very successful is because they're a combination of a fire sign as well as a fixed sign. Fixed signs, you're a mutable sign, Virgo, so you have a lot of flexibility, but sometimes there can be instability if you don't decide to, continue doing something, if you change. Mutability means changeability. And all fixed signs have a very, they're almost like a laser beam, where they just they have really good focus, and they have a lot of endurance. And Leo also has confidence. So because Virgo tends to doubt itself a lot, second guess itself, you may feel like you don't have a leg to stand on, or you may simply be disappointed in something that happened. Now, one thing I want to say about this King of Cups, if this is your boss and you always felt like he was like a father to you, and you really trusted him, and you feel like he is complicit in a workplace situation that involved deception, this person could be like the kind who's kind of a pushover emotionally, where he's very kind, but he's also very, if he's like a Pisces, because he could be a water sign, he could be gullible, or he could just simply have a hard time saying no. And so if there are unscrupulous people that you work with, they might have been able to manipulate him into doing something that worked against you. So that's why I say what I say. What's coming in is the Nine of Cups. This is a great card. This bodes great things for Virgo in terms of the outcome of any kind of situation that has felt crazy making or confusing, or dealing with emotions that are very, I don't know, like I said, confusing, and you don't know which way to turn. The Nine of Cups is the wish fulfillment card. So you could get what you want, ultimately. And you could feel very satisfied at the end of this situation that you have what you wanted. Whether it's the money that you were looking for, or the position you were looking for, the person, if you were involved with someone, maybe it's even like in a divorce case, if it's the outcome you were looking for, you might have this sense of satisfaction towards the end. Actually, a lot of satisfaction, where you feel like really good, and there might even be a bit of smugness. The Nine of Cups is kind of associated with, and what, like, now, look at me now, I just had this great thing happen to me. And then the outcome is the Queen of Swords, and this is a card of, I would say, a balanced mental state. With the Moon card, you may have even been experiencing anxiety about this. And now you feel a lot more level-headed, that you can make clear decisions. We have two queens in this reading. So it's funny, we have the King and the Queen. So we have like the father and mother energy, if that means anything to you. But you could be your own, so this could even be like an issue surrounding a child custody issue. And maybe you have a partner who has addiction, and you're trying to seek sole custody from this other person. And you may even have somebody who makes a decision who, it could be like, I'm not going to just say it has to be a female judge or something like that, but somebody who has compassion for your child or your particular situation, but also is being impartial at the same time. So it's going to be, and of course this could be a facet of you that you're able to get on with your life and put your emotions in their proper perspective, so that you don't let your emotions like get the best of you. Okay, Virgo, that's what I have for you, and I hope that you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading, the link to my website is below. God bless you. Have a great July. Bye.